Hello everyone. Welcome to day 8 of the new Terraform series. So today we are going to discuss about loops in Terraform. Previously we discussed about the Terraform functions and Terraform console. Now today we are going to discuss about the loops. Basically there are two types of loops present in Terraform. The first one is count and another one is for each. Without taking any delay, let's get started. So we all know why we need to use loops because we wanted to do certain tasks repeatedly for the n number of times, right? Similarly, we are creating the EC2 instance using Terraform. But what if we wanted to create n number of EC2 instance or n number of files we need to create using any file resource? So for that, we need to use for each or count argument. Okay, so previously we only have the count loop in Terraform, but later in version upgrades, Terraform introduced the for each loop. Let's understand the count loop with a better example. So basically, count means how much. Okay, so let's use our file resource. We are using loops for our file resource. You can use loops for any other resource like S3 bucket or EC2 instance, but for locally, I'm not going to connect to cloud right now, just directly using our file resources and we'll work on it. Okay. Okay. So this is our local file. I provide some name for this like count underscore loop. This file resource we are using for count loop and okay. So here count, we are providing the count like 3. So this much times that loop is going to run. Then under content, and okay. So this is the content that is going inside the file. That file name is integer. Currently we are just providing any random name, like we are using count for integer, so I'm just using integer here. Then again the same count dot index. Okay, and at the end, just for our reference, I'm just provide the count so that we will get to know that files are created using our file resource. Okay, so you guys might got one question: what is index here? So basically, index shows the currently which iteration is going on, and it starts with like the current count is 3, then that index is start with 0 1 and 2 like 3 times. Okay, so let's try to run that one. Terraform init. Okay, then Terraform plan. Okay, and then Terraform apply at Opera. Let me just create one more terminal session for our Terraform console. So every time we don't need to log out and log in again and again. So Terraform console. Okay, as you can see, here is only one resource, but we use the count, so count as three. So for that, three resources are created. As you can see, these are the three resources are created, and after the command is completed, you are also able to see the resources three added. So this is the use case for the count. So let's quickly see the number of resources that are created Terraform to check the number of resources that are currently present in current workspace. For that, you can use Terraform state command, state list. So with the help of Terraform state list command, you are able to see the number of resources present in current state. So as you can see, local file count loop 12012. That means three resources are currently present. Now let's analyze what is the type of data structure for these resources. Okay, so for that, we already log into our Terraform console. Let's paste that resource name and hit enter. As you can see, three resources are created, and the resource the type for the count is ordered a list of objects. Okay, so this is the list and these are the objects. So this is the order list of objects, and if I am providing the specific objects like one or two, that means third object, so it will only display the third object, as you can see here. Okay, now what if we have the list of objects and not the numbers or not the count? Then how we are using to use count there? So currently we are directly providing the number as a count 3, but what if we have the objects like 3 to 4 objects, and how we are going to iterate over there? So for that, you can use a length function. So how we are going to use functions that are we previously discussed in our one video. You guys go and check it out. So let's check for that using length function. So for that, I'm going to create one local, and inside that local I'm using the fruits. Okay, and it is a list of strings. Okay, just provide the name of the fruit, whatever you like. Okay, currently I am using the three fruits. Okay, now here we are using same resource file. Let me just destroy that one first, the previous one, and then we can restart, rebuild it. Yeah, so our previous resources are destroyed. Now to use the length function, so for that just type length and parenthesis, inside that you need to provide the locals dot fruits. So currently the local dot fruits have three counts and the length for the 0 1 2 3, so count will indirectly store the three. Okay, then how con how we are going to pass the value or the content from local fruits to the file? So for that, you need to like, I'm passing the content like the name of the fruit. So for that you need to first call the local dot fruit, and then the count dot index. That means three counts. Okay, and file name same. So instead I will remove the int because currently these are the strings. So just copy it whole thing. Okay, now let me hit Terraform apply. So as you can see, three resources are added. So let's go to that first file. If you go into the apple hyphen count, inside that the apple content is stored for banana, and same for mango, the mango content is stored. Okay, now if the count is works perfectly, then why we need the use case for each? Okay, so there are main two reasons that for each loop is better than count loop. The first one is consistency and the second one is the reference. Okay, I will show you that one with one example. Let's try to add one more fruit inside this local. Okay, because we know count works with order list. Okay, so if we change the order or we add something inside that, then let's see what happened. Okay, so I add one fruit like grape inside the fruit list. Okay, then I hit Terraform. Let me just hit Terraform plan. As you can see, the plan shows that 2 to add, 0 to change, and 1 to destroy. Okay, so why it shows that 2 to add and 1 to destroy? Because it's not directly replacing the mango with grape. It actually destroyed the mango and adding that grape and mango again. Okay, so once I hit Terraform apply, as you see, it destroy the loop 2, that is our third, and then creating the second and third again. So you will be said that then what's the point? Anyway, it will work properly. We got our four files and the content in each file is working fine. So what's the problem with count? So let's consider this as four Kubernetes cluster that we already have, and each Kubernetes cluster, or on each Kubernetes cluster we have hundreds of applications are running, and that are the client environment in production. So once we use count there, and we add one more cluster inside the that, so at that case what happened, it will destroy the one previous one and recreate the another clusters. So in that case the application went down and the client might get impacted. So this is the main issue. So to avoid that issue, so Terraform introduced the new loop, that is for each. So now let's discuss about the for each argument. So for which argument basically takes the set of strings and set of maps. So this is the list of strings, but what for each takes the set of strings and set of map. Where the why set? Because there the order will not matters, and if duplicates occur, it will be considered as a single one. Okay, okay. So let's get started with for each. I will be deleted that grape fruits, and let's start with the new one. And here for each loop. Now, similar to count, here we are using for underscore each. Okay, and there for count we have index which is used to iterate over the list or numbers. So similarly, in case of for each, we have each dot key and each dot value. Okay, so basically for set of maps, the each dot key and each dot value is different because map have keys and value, but in case of strings we have only values. So at that case, each dot key and each dot value is same. Okay, so for each, then we use to set because we are using set here, set of strings or set of maps. Okay, then local dot fruits. So that local dot fruits is going to store as a set. Okay, then content, what we are storing the name. Okay, for that directly you can use at each dot value. Okay, so the value will going to store inside that, and file name will be same. Just we are appending one character like for each. Okay, let's destroy the everything first, then we can restart it. Okay, now Terraform plan. As you can see, three things it's going to add for our count, and three resources it is going to add for our for each loop. Okay, let's Terraform apply. As you can see, apple count for count using the count resource, and for using the for each argument we are going to create a apple for each. Okay, and the content is sim like the name for the fruit. Let's destroy everything first, and we just comment it out that loop, and then starts working with only the for each. Okay, let me just comment it out, this one, and or maybe remove. Okay, now once I hit Terraform apply for each loop resource, so at that time it's going to create only three resources for these three fruits, and the content is inside that files are the same fruit name. Okay, with the with same file name, with for each as a suffix. Okay, as you can see, banana, apple, banana, and mango. Okay, but if I change or I add one fruit in middle of it, so at that time, let's see what happened. As you can see, it shows that only one resource is add, zero to change and zero to destroy. And once apply completed, it's just creating only one resource, and resource one is added, zero change and zero destroyed. So that is the benefit of for each over count. It is not going to destroy any previous resource, it just create the new one. Okay, because the order is not matter here. That's why it is an order set of map or set of lists. Okay, so this is the another difference between count and for each. Like count is a list of objects, and for each it is a map of objects. Once you states the resources that are present inside current workspace, and let me just directly connect with our Terraform console. I will show you the which data structure that for each loop going to use. Okay, or four resources are here, and you see here the name of that resource is the string that is present inside the local, not the any number or not any other count. Okay, so let's directly paste it here, and you see it is a map of objects. The object apple is map inside that resource, object banana here. Okay, let me just show you one specific for apple. Okay, so this is one object for the content apple. Okay, now let's come to the next part, the references. And let me just destroy the everything here first. And okay, you need to first exit from the console and then hit need to hit destroy, because console logs the state file. Then if state file is locked, then you are not able to destroy the resources. So for that you need to exit from the console and hit destroy again. Okay, now I am going to hit Terraform apply again with our count loop and with for each loop, and then we are going to see the references. So why we can say that count is not as much consistent or as much used for references rather than for each, why for each is better for reference. So let's log into our Terraform console. Terraform state list. Okay, we are logged in successfully. So now for count I am going to extract one specific fruit or one specific object from count. And similarly in case of for each loop I'm going to extract one specific object using uh, that from for each resource. Okay, so let's see the difference and time for the reference which is used which is more feasible. Apple. As you can see, we need to first go to that complete resources, and from that complete resources we are going to check if that content is apple, then and only return that. That means what, if there are thousands of resources, first we are iterating through that thousands of resources, and from thousand of resources we are using one if conditions. If that content is apple inside that content file, then and only they return that one. Okay, so basically in that case the time complexity is much higher. So let's directly check for uh, our for each argument. Okay, so for that you just directly need local underscore our resource name, that is local file unders dot for what is the name for each loop. Okay, and directly you need to mention apple, so it will be directly referencing to our resource apple, and you will get the output. As you can see, syntax wise, reference wise, our for each is far more better than count loop. Okay, but then in some cases, if you have directly count, and if you have to use some conditional statements, so at that time you can directly use our count there, because count works fine and more efficiently in terms of conditional statements, or in terms of number provided to you. But in case uh, of speed, or in case of Kubernetes, at that time it's better if you're going to use the for each loop. Let's quickly discuss the agenda for our next session, that is day 9. Okay, so on day 9, uh, till now we completed the basics and some advanced things in our Terraform, like our HCL language. You know about loops, you know about the basic states, you know about the workspaces and other things, variables, outputs, all these things. Now we are going to use our Terraform with our AWS cloud. Let's create some resources on AWS cloud, like build up one server on AWS cloud. The agenda is Terraform with AWS cloud and host server on AWS using Terraform. Okay, that's it guys for today. Hope you guys like this video. Please share this video with your friends who wanted to really learn about Terraform. The complete playlist you can go and share with them, and hit the subscribe button for our channel. Thank you.